Hey guys, welcome back to your Florida electrician. Today I'd like to install 4 of these lights. I'm probably going to get to 3 of them. Still waiting for some touch-up paint. For those of you who've been following me, I am working on a 800 square foot addition to the house. I've been working on getting caught up with the videos. The boxes are already in for the floodlights, already wired. Most of the boxes are trimmed to match the paint color of the house. So I'll be able to get at least 3 of these in. These came from Home Depot. They're Defiant. I like to give them a try. 3,000 lumens. That's why I got this one. It's supposed to be super bright, so I really want to see it. Motion sensing. Yeah, I got them going on the side of the house. Really like to see what they look like. I'd like to see them up tonight, at least 3 of them. So here's the box for the lights. If I can, I'll put a link to them. I got them from Home Depot. I can put a link to Amazon as well if they have them on Amazon. I am an associate or whatever. Anything purchased off of there, I do get something, and that would help the channel. Pretty simple. I do have a video where I just show the wiring for these, where they are, not really putting the boxes or anything. But let me show you how I did the boxes. So what I did with these was I put 4 around the outside. I ran the wires out, hung down the soffit, and got 4 of these. Okay, this is a 1/2 inch bell box. Why is it a 1/2 inch? Because the holes, they're 1/2 inch, and there's 5 of them. You don't need 5 holes. All you really need is 1 on the top. But they come with 5 holes typically. And on the top, you put a 1/2 inch male adapter for PVC, and then a little piece of pipe so it gets beyond the soffit. The soffit's not in yet, but that is below the soffit. You shouldn't have any problem once the soffits go in. I'll soon find out. The wires are in there. We're going to go ahead and start trimming them up. That's how we got. And I got them on a switch on the inside. Okay, I'd like to do a bit of an unboxing. This takes more time. It's okay. I got a lot of things to do here, but maybe this video will help you decide whether you want to buy this light or not, so the time spent is well worth it. All right, I think these were $80 at Home Depot. They're a little bit more than the next step down because they're brighter, 3,000 lumens. They only use 27 watts. The color, 4K, it's almost daylight. It's okay, it's like a white light. So, what do we have in here? It's very well packed. The reason why I like this type, let me see what I can see. The reason why I like this type is the heads. They can be moved in or out. So if you had put this on a corner, it'd be very convenient to be able to go whoop, put them way out like that to 170 degrees, this one in the middle. So if you wanted to do that, this was on a corner, you can just imagine the light coverage, right? I didn't put them on a corner. I don't like them on a corner. I like them in the middle. I like room for my cameras and stuff. So they do like that. They articulate this way. They go up and down. So for whatever reason, if you hung it upside down, if you were to hang it like this, upside down, you could actually do it. You can move these down. Okay. I like to hang it like this, where my sensor is going to see everything. This moves up and down too. There's some settings right here. For on time, 1 minute, test, 5 minute, 20 minute. And the level of brightness, which is kind of cool. You can set the brightness if you think it's too bright. Maybe the neighbor's getting pissed off. You can adjust the brightness. And it's just going to plug into the electrical. Looks like it doesn't even need a ground because it's plastic. Pretty cool stuff. All right, so let's get to it. I like it. 80 bucks. Let's see what they look like. Inside the bag, of course, is a hardware kit with your ground. There's a ground wire there, your bracket. And thank God it comes with the screws. The screws are in here. Wow, very well packed. Jeez. Okay. A little nut or something. You see that? Okay, that's going to be for your box. I imagine this long one is for the center of this. Only 1 screw. My electrical boxes, some of them didn't have the screws for mounting them, so I'm glad they come with the screws. Okay, so it's nice that they give you screws, but the manufacturer of the box, they don't pilot the holes long enough or deep enough. So we're going to have to go ahead and cut all the screws, which is going to be a pain. That's not very nice. Everybody's getting so cheap. They don't thread it all the way in. It's just another thing you got to do. Okay, I take my angle grinder to grind these down to about a half inch. I take my angle grinder. Maybe these will fit. I could use a screwdriver. I might use my screw gun. And I'm going to lose it in the dirt. Okay, if the people from Defiant are watching, you can make these screws ½ inch or less. I mean, come on, man. Your little mounting plate is very small. You don't need a 1-inch screw. It's not holding up a building, it's holding up a light fixture. Make the screw shorter, because this is an extra work for everybody. It's frustrating. Okay, so this one only has one wire. It's the end of the circuit. Same thing you've seen in my other videos. Take your dikes. Careful, careful, careful. Just score the insulation a little bit, if you want to get that insulation off. Okay. Don't nick the wires, and more importantly, don't nick the wire itself. If you take a chunk out of that wire, it's no good. Okay. If you can see, we got our 3 wires. There's only 14.2. Those things only use 27 watts. I don't need, back in the old days, you had a 90-watt light bulb times 2, and then all the way around the house, use a bunch of power. It's not even going to use barely 100 watts with all of them on. So, wrap your ground around the ground screw. Tighten it up with this, or you can use the drill or whatever. I like to sometimes use the drill. So you want to get your wires ready. I want them all in the same spot down here in the bottom. Now, finally, these screws that we cut that are short enough, you can put one here in the bottom. Anywhere, really. Okay. And your bracket has a slot, an open end, has an open end and a closed end. So you can put that open end in that slot. Okay, and then we want to put the other one on the open end, diagonal from it. Again. Now that the screw is only a ½ inch or so, it'll actually tighten on this little thin 1/16 of an inch plate, mounting plate. Oh, crazy. It's adding more work. Okay. I don't need these wires quite this long, so I'm going to cut these back a little bit. Okay, strip your ends. Probably no more on this one, judging by this connector, probably no more than a ½ inch. So before we put this up, there's some screws, mounting screws we have to take out. I don't think I need to take them all the way out. I don't want to lose them in the dirt. Just want to get to the mounting plate. All right, try not to drop your light fixture. So they have a mounting plate. Kind of interesting, different. Let's see how this goes on there. Oh, that's nice. That's cool. So you see they have when you screw this in correctly, lining these up, the back of this has 2 pins, and it'll line up with that. So let me show you real close. All right, cool. So we had to loosen these 2 screws, all right, which allowed me to take the back off. It's got some alignment pins. You see the pins? Goes in the top 2 holes there. And the reason is because these pins need to line up with the socket here. And if it doesn't get lined up, obviously it's not going to work. What the fuck holds this there? Oh, the one screw. Are we rolling? All right, these just slide in. There's no screw, no wire nuts, no anything. They just slide right in. So the neutral goes with the neutral. Okay. Black goes with the black. Make sure they go in. Inside here, you can see the copper all the way to the back. That's good. Let's tuck these in. Let's tuck these wires in underneath the mounting plate. Okay, all the wires are tucked in there. And then we need that one screw. There's a bigger one. That's bigger than all the other ones. I'm sure one of these says up. What's this arrow say? This end up. Yep. You see in the bottom? This is going to line up just good with this. Make sure there's not a whole lot of wires right behind where the screw's got to go, because the screw is kind of long in this one. Hi, Glug. Doesn't have to be super tight. Remember, it's not a building. All right, so there's the bracket, mounting plate, and then the light fixture. This should be super easy. Let's just get the lights out of the way. And we got these 2 finger screws that we have to do. As long as it's lined up, it should go right in. Yep. Wow, this will make the mounting of these things go super quick. And then we turn the power on, go ahead and make our adjustments, put it on test. Let's move somehow. Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. Okay, this one's almost the same as the last one, except now we got 2 wires in the box. Okay, we got power in and power out. I don't know which one's which, it doesn't matter. Same thing, need to get the insulation off carefully. Alright, don't nick the insulation, otherwise you're pulling another wire, which is really going to be a pain. Don't nick the wiring, I mean. You want to nick the insulation on the outside. Okay, get the insulation off. Nice out here today in Central Florida. Alright, so the difference is we have a couple grounds on this one. Okay, we got ground here, ground here. We want to twist these together. Just kind of pull towards you and twist them together. Okay. Snip one off. Alright. I'm throwing it on the ground. I'm going to pick it up after. And we want to use a green wire nut. Whoop, get a hole in it. This will bond them together. Twist it. And this box is missing a ground screw. That's nice. Even there's no ground screw, we are going to be putting this ground in here, which is grounding this mounting bracket to the box. So it's okay. It's still going to be grounded. Okay. And these wires, I don't think I even need a pigtail because the light fixture has 2 slots. There's 2 holes here. So we don't need to even pigtail these wires into one because it has 2 slots on those wire connectors. But I do want to cut them down, cut them back just a little bit too long for me. Strip them. Kind of want everything in this corner, this like 5 o'clock, military. Strip these about ½ inch, maybe a little bit more. And then we want to put this bracket on. This particular box came with the screws. Hopefully they go all the way in. I think so, yeah. Oh man, I keep dropping everything. I don't want to lose it. Okay. So if you wanted to, you could have left that one in the bottom. You can leave it in a little bit. Let me go get that other screw. Like the last one, you can use that. There's an open end on that. There's a slot on one end. Put it in there. And then this one, you need to screw it in a little bit. It's a closed end. Screw it in tighter. And it fell out of the slot. I don't like slot screws. Kind of like outdated. The Phillips seemed to work so much better. And the screw's too long, it won't tighten. So like the last one, I need to cut it off. I need to cut the screws back. Because they are not making these boxes threaded long enough, deep enough. You have to have a puny little screw, you know, like less than a ½ inch to make it work. I don't know if they're just getting lazy and they don't want to, trying to increase their cycle times on the machines or what. It's really aggravating. Okay, did I mention that was super annoying? Had to grind back the screws because they're too long or the box's threads are not long enough. Whatever the case is, it just adds more time and it's very annoying. Okay, so we have the one ground here. And all we got to do is shove that one into the ground connector. Okay, and then stick that in the back of the box. Yes, we can. Okay. And we have 2 neutrals and the 2 hots left. So very easy. This connector allows for 3 wires. There's one in there already. These just pop in. It's a very easy light to put up, believe it or not, if it wasn't for the boxes and the screws. Okay, the neutrals are in there. I can see that they're in there. I can see it's clear. I can see they're all the way to the back. They're in there well. This one, this one. Yep, they're in there good. Okay, curl these up. Put them inside the box, but try not to put them right here. This is where a long screw is going to go in. You don't want to screw all the way in and hit the wires in the box, because then when you turn the lights on later, boom, what happened? Breaker trips. Because that long screw hit the wiring back there and nicked it and then went into the insulation and made it short out. So with that in mind, try not to put wiring right underneath that screw like I'm doing right here. So there you go. So if it hits the ground wire, it's all right. It's not going to hurt anything as long as it doesn't break it. But if it hits the other wiring, it could short it out. You don't want that. It's just another thing you got to take care of. Okay, so the mounting plate goes a specific way. Oh, that's kind of neat. So there's a way that goes up. Let's set it somewhere this way up. Okay, right here. Make sure the wires are tucked in where you're not crushing the wires against the box. And this is actually what makes this fixture super easy to put up, is this mounting bracket. Alright, you don't have to kill it. It's just a light fixture. You're not holding up the Empire State Building. And then there's some alignment plates, alignment studs on the bottom here that aligns these pins with those pins. As long as you get those lined up, these out of the way. Get those lined up, slides right on. You never know. I'm going to like this light, I'm pretty sure, because it's only 27 watts. I could have them on all night, all of them, for like 100 watts. You know, I got 4 of these. Very nice. So I'm going to come back after and make adjustments to this. I like how these move around. I like how this moves around. It's got good view. I think it tilts forward and stuff a little bit. Yeah, I can't wait to come back and try it. I'm going to connect the other one. Alright,
notice the lights going on and off. I am walking around in test mode. You see the light flashing on that side, and then I make an adjustment, and then on the back side, walk around, you see the light go on and off, test mode. These end up being super bright, and they worked very well. I turned them down to medium brightness because they were so bright. Okay, guys, at night, this is where obviously these things shine. Beautiful coverage, very bright light. Like I said, I ended up turning them down because they were so bright. Also on this one, I had to put masking tape because it would set off the light from a car going by over 100 feet away on that street back there. Crazy. And here's a test of the sensitivity. As soon as you're around that corner, boom, it is easily 180 degree sensing. Super bright. I am super happy with these lights. Although they were, like I said, too bright, I didn't want to disturb the neighbors. I want to light up my yard, not the whole neighborhood. So I turned them down to medium brightness. And then funny, it doesn't see you, the motion sensor, through the screen. But once you get past the screen, then it's like boing, pops on like that. And yeah, I only installed 3. I didn't install the 4th one. Didn't need it because there was so much coverage. And the same thing here. I had to put tape on the sensor on one side because it would pick up cars going by on the street over there.
Well, guys, that's probably it for my floodlights. Like I said, I put them on a switch. I'll leave them out all the time. Except if I hear something, you can turn it off for a second and turn them back on most of the time, and they will stay on, which is good. You know, somebody will go, "Oh man, all the lights just came on. That's not good," and they'll haul ass. So I think that's it as far as the floodlights go. I got one more to put up in this corner, waiting for it to be painted, trimmed, or whatever. But that's it for now on this one.